Welcome to Pro Systems. We are Team 31. The team has designed and developed a transport management system called Tankman. Let's get to know the Pro Systems team.
Pro Systems consists of a diversified team. We each bring in our own unique ideas, experiences, and perspectives together. This results in superior problem solving. And as a team, we value knowledge, mental health, having fun, and giving our client the best possible experience and solutions.
Hi, I'm Tiara Govender, a BIT Information Systems student. My role in this project includes being team leader, project manager, business, and system analysis. My main focus areas in the future would be system and business analysis, as well as working with data, maybe going into data analysis and data science. On the screen, you are able to view my contact details.
Good day, I am Wasia Locke, a BCom Informatics student. The roles that I played in the project was as a backend developer, functional, and system analyst. So my main focus areas in the future include gaining versatile skill sets in various programming languages used in development, and I would like to work towards system and functional analytics. Please view my contact details on the screen.
Hello, I am Demi Murray, a BCom Informatics student. The team role that I have played includes the lead coder on the back end, functional analyst, user experience designer, and system analyst. My main focus areas in the future will be software and website development, developing or integrating systems for businesses in the future, as well as designing websites for their business needs. On this screen, you're able to view my contact details.
Good day. I am Matthew Thurban, and I am a BCom Informatics student. The roles that I played are a systems architect, where I focused on database design. Additionally, I worked as a process and data analyst, as well as the lead coder on the front end. My focus areas for the future include technical design, web development, and a functional or systems analyst. Please view my contact details on the screen.
Hi, I am Nisei Birapa, a BCom Informatics student. The team roles that I performed was as a business analyst, systems architect, a technical writer, as well as a documentation manager. In the future, I would like to focus on becoming either a business analyst or systems architect, or rather getting my certified information systems auditor qualification. On the screen, you are able to view my contact details.
Let's take a look at who our client is. Our client is Reef Tankers. Reef Tankers are a fuel and chemical transportation company that was established in 1998. And Reef Tankers' motto is driven by passion, as they are passionate about making a difference. Providing excellent services for the Reef Tankers customers is integral to the company because their superior service is crafted through the use of highly skilled professionals with the latest technological advances to ensure loss-free operations.
Reef Tankers currently have 10 terminals across South Africa. These depots are strategically positioned across the country to ensure that all their customers' needs are fulfilled. The journey of Reef Tankers began with a single vehicle. 23 years later, they are successfully managing a fleet of 110 vehicles across the country. Their fleet comprises of 104 trucks, 3 chemical tankers, and 3 jet tankers. This has led Reef Tankers into becoming one of the largest inland fuel and chemical transporting companies in South Africa.
There is no information system in place for the Reef Tankers operations department, as they manage their day-to-day operations with Excel spreadsheets and other paper-based documents. When capturing the information on Excel spreadsheets, human errors frequently occur. The drivers are responsible for copious amounts of paperwork that is required to be filled in before and after completing a delivery. The customers are unaware of what time the order will be received. The business takes several days to capture what has happened, resulting in no live data being available. The Reef Tankers executives have limited knowledge about what is happening in the company and how much money they are earning. They are unable to plan due to the lack of timely information. This leads to them being more reactive than proactive.
Pro Systems collaborated with Reef Tankers, a fuel and chemical transportation company, to design and develop a transport management system. Tankman was created for Reef Tankers' operations sector. This system is designed to enhance the company's operational department as it will increase the company's productivity in its day-to-day operations. Additionally, Tankman will automate business processes to ensure efficiency, improve security, reduce cost, and it will positively impact the environment.
In this section, we will have a look at our system's functional requirements.
In this section, we will take a look at Tankman's functionality. First, we will perform a logical process of the system.
Step 1 would be to create a customer. We will enter the customer name, select the customer type, enter their phone number, their email address, as well as their office address. I have filled in all the details and I will click the create button. We will then confirm that we want to create this customer and our customer has been successfully created. Step 2 is to create the customer branch. We will first select the customer. In our case, it is Shell. We will enter their name, their phone number, email address, and the customer branch address. Once you have entered all the details, you can click the create button, confirm that you like to create the customer branch, and it will notify you that the customer branch has been successfully created. It will also ask you if you'd like to upload a contract with this branch. In our case, we would not like to upload a contract. Step 3, we are going to be adding a new vehicle to the system. We will add the vehicle information such as the vehicle registration, vehicle make, the model name, as well as the license that is required to drive the vehicle, as well as the terminal that the vehicle belongs to. I have filled in the vehicle details as you can see here. I'm now going to click the create button. It will then ask me if I'm sure that I want to create this vehicle. Yes, I do, and a success message will appear. Step 4 would be to add a new substance. We'll be adding the name of the substance type, which can be either a chemical, fuel, or jet fuel, the current price of the substance, and it's automatically assigned to today's date for the price. As you can see, I've entered the details. We're now going to click the create button. It will pop up with a confirmation model. Yes, we are sure when to create it, and a successful model will let us know that the substance has been successfully created. The next step, step 5, would be to request a trip. We will enter the required information and we will request our trip. As you can see, I've entered in the information. Our customer is Shell. The branch will be self-insuring, and today will only be transporting unlimited 95, and it equates to 30 liters. Our start time is 10 p.m. today, and end time is 10 to 12 today. I will then need to click the load available vehicles button so that it can populate the drop-down with vehicles that can take this ordered volume and that is available for today. As you can see, all these vehicles here are available for today. We're going to use the vehicle we picked. Next, we'll load all the available drivers. We will then select our driver, our briefing date, and debriefing date. All the information is now filled in, and we can request our trip. It will ask us to confirm. Yes, we do. And a success message will pop up letting us know that our trip has been successfully requested. As you can see, our trip now will be displayed on our home screen. Step 6 would be to approve our trip. As you can see, our trip is over here, local Shell Centurion. We will need to click on this big icon in order to approve our trip. It will then redirect us to approve trip where we can view all the details of our trip. We will then need to add a new delivery route. In this option, we are going to create a new delivery route. We'll enter the route name as well as the end location. As you can see, all the information is filled in. We click create, and it says here our delivery route has been created successfully. We will then go back and select our delivery route from the drop. Once it has been selected, we can approve the trip. And it will let us know that trip 60 to Shell Centurion has been approved. Step 7 is to perform the trip briefing. As you can see on the SC home screen, we can see the trip information over here. We will then go to perform the trip briefing page. As you can see on this page, we can view our trip and we can click perform briefing, which takes us to the perform pre-trip briefing page, and we will have to fill in all of this information. The FC will have to ask the driver each of these questions and fill in the answer accordingly, which I will do so now. As you can see, all the information has been filled in, and I'll now click complete. It will then ask you to confirm. We will click yes, and a success model will appear saying that the briefing has been successfully created. Once the briefing has been completed and passed, the FC will then hand the driver a tablet where they will open the mobile application and they will need to log in. They will have to enter their username and password. This is step 8. As you can see, I've filled in the information and now we'll click the login button. Once you are logged in, it will display the trips that you need to complete. Step 9 is where we'll click on the trip we'd like to complete, and we will need to complete the pre-trip inspection form. The BTO will have to go and check all of this on the vehicle and make sure everything that needs to be ticked is ticked and all the information is correctly filled in. I will now fill in the form. As you can see, all the information is filled in. Now we'll click the submit button, and as you can see, the vehicle has been deemed fit for the trip. We'll then click OK, which will take us to entering the trip volume per substance page. Step 10 would be to fill in the trip volume per substance, the trip full of loading, as well if there was a short load. This form will be filled in after the vehicle has been loaded at the IE gantry. I will not be filling in the form. As you can see, I have filled in the form. I'm now going to click submit. As you can see, the vehicle load details have been saved successfully. Step 11 will take you to your trip screen. This is where you can see the route that you need to take. We have integrated Google Maps, which will pick up your original location, which is A, and it will take you to your destination, which is Shell, Jean Avenue, Northwood. As you can see here, this is the delivery route which the driver will follow. If I zoom in, I will show you that it is Jean Avenue. Zoom a little further, as you can see, the spa is the Jean Avenue spa and the garage is on the corner. If you require other directions, you can click other directions and enter your start and end destination, and it will work. However, it has picked up our location, therefore we can use this one. Part of step 11 is sending an SMS to the customer. Once the driver begins their trip, an SMS would be sent to the customer informing them that their delivery is on the way. As you can see on the screen, I've just taken a screenshot of the SMS and emailed it to myself so you can see it clearly on the screen. Step 12 allows the driver to pause the trip if he or she requires a break. They can simply click on the pause trip button. For the purpose of this video, we've only set the timer for 15 seconds. Once the 15 seconds is up, it will alert the FC that the driver has taken a break longer than required. As you can see now, it says here, you have exceeded the allocated pause trip time, and email will be sent to the fleet controller. However, the driver can also just resume the trip before the time ends. That way they would be taking the break that they required. Step 13 is when the driver arrives at the customer. They will then click Arrive at Customer, which will redirect them to this page. They will have to enter the date, select the trip unloading document. They will need to take a picture of the file and then upload it. Trip volume per substance they will also need to enter. I will be filling in the details. As you can see, all the information has now been filled in and we can click Submit. As you can see, a successful message has been shown that the Arrive at Customer information has been saved and the trip has now ended. The driver will now be driving back to the terminal where he or she will complete the debriefing. Step 14 is when the driver returns back to the terminal and informs the FC that they have returned and would like to complete their trip debriefing. The FC will then select the trip debriefing for the specific trip, and they will have to ask the driver all the following questions. The driver will then have to respond, and the SC will fill in the form. I will now fill in the form. As you can see, the form is now filled in. I'll now click on the complete button. A confirmation model will pop up that I want to submit the debriefing. Yes, I'm sure. And a success model will display to say that the trip debriefing has been successfully saved. And that is the end of our process.
Let's take a deeper look into the system.
When the admin user log into their account, it will navigate them to the admin home screen. Here you get to see a few panels. On the approved user account panel, you get to see which user account have been approved. In the active terminal panel, you get to see which Reef Tankers terminal is currently active. In the license renewal panel, it will notify the admin which driver's license will expire in the next 3 months. In the backup and restore data panel, when you click on the backup button, it will back up everything on the system, and the restore button, it will restore it back to the backup version. On the side navigation bar, for employee, you get to click on create employee, view employee, create employee type, and view employee type. For driver admin, you get to click on add additional driver details and view additional driver details. For user, there will be approve user account and view user account. For terminal, there will be create terminal, view terminal. For help, you get to select on open help guide. When the contract shift manager log into their account, they will get to see the trip schedule panel. Here is a trip that needs to be approved by the contract shift manager, and they can either select the tick button, which allows them to approve the trip, or the edit button, which allows them to reschedule the trip. And here is the view recent request button, which will allow the user to view the recent trip requests, and the view all trip requests button will allow the user to view all the trip requests.
Once the fleet controller has been logged onto the system, they'll be redirected to the FC homepage, where they can view the trip briefings and trip debriefings that are scheduled for the day, as well as the vehicle renewals that are due for an upgrade. We can also click on the side menu bar, which will provide us with a list of other options, such as adding or viewing a vehicle, adding a vehicle make, as well as being able to view a vehicle make. We can choose to add a substance, view a substance, or check the market status. Additionally, for target, we can create a target per vehicle, view a target, or generate a target report when clicked. For FC trip, we are able to perform a pre-trip briefing, a post-trip debriefing. We can update the vehicle status, view past deliveries, and generate a truck driver schedule report. For the CSM delivery, we can reschedule deliveries. For fleet reporting, we can generate a fleet allocation report and generate a loss and gains report. Additionally, if we require help, we can open the help guide.
So this is the executive subsystem. Okay, so when logging in as the executive, you will land on this page, which is known as the executive dashboard. On this executive dashboard, there's multiple different aspects that you can see at once. Okay, so at the first thing is you will first see here at the top who you are logged in as on which account. So this is Reef Tankers account. Okay. On the menu, you can see a target report. You can see your fleet utilization report, which is daily, weekly, and monthly fleet utilization for the ad hoc customers, as well as daily, weekly, and monthly fleet utilization for mining customers. You can see your fleet reporting, and this consists of fleet allocation report, a loss gain report, projected income and expenditure report, as well as the fleet target report. Furthermore, you can also have your help guide. Okay. So on the executive dashboard, we have multiple panels. First panel shows the fleet allocation per customer type. This represents a small graph here that shows what percentage of fleet has been allocated to ad hoc and which has been allocated to mining. So here we can see 1 has been allocated to mining and 8 has been allocated to ad hoc. Then we can view more details regarding this by clicking the view more button. It will take you to a detailed breakdown of fleet allocation page, and this shows the trip start date, the location, the truck registration that was part of that trip, as well as trip type, whether it was mining, whether it was ad hoc, etc. Now we go back to the dashboard. The second panel represents the revenue targets for today, for the specific date. So in this case, it's the 7th of November 2021. And this will show the overall target as well as the first 2 vehicles that a target has been linked to. So in this case, 10,000 Rand target is linked to the P series vehicle with the registration number of HL15RTGP. The same here for the second one. You can also view more details regarding the targets by clicking on the view more button. This will take you to a detailed breakdown of targets. This shows the target, the date the target was added, the deadline for that target to be achieved, the specific target, the vehicle registration number, as well as the comments regarding why that target was set. Okay, let's go back to the dashboard. Furthermore, on this dashboard we have a loads per shift. So let's say we wanted to view the loads per shift for the night shift. We click on the night button here. It would show the first 2 substances with the volume of in liters that they would be traveling or delivering during that shift. So in this case, we have AV gas, and that has 12,500 liters. Cool. Next, we move on to the drivers per shift here. So here, this drivers per shift tells you how many drivers are out during that shift. So if I click on day, it's going to say there are today currently 3 drivers on the road. If I click on the night shift, it will say there are currently 4 drivers on the road, depending on the type of shift. So if we go here and we want to view more details regarding the drivers per shift, we can enter here, and this shows the detailed breakdown of those drivers. So this shows the date that the driver is going to go, who the driver is, when they entered the loading facility and when they exited the loading facility, when they arrived at the customer and when they departed from the customer, the start odometer reading as well as the end odometer reading. We can also do the same here. Sorry, I forgot about this one. You can also do the same here for loads per shift. If you want to do more details, you can go in here. And this shows the substances, how much was loaded and how much was delivered, the variance between loaded and delivered volumes, as well as how much percentage they lost, how much they gained. Finally, the last thing on the executive dashboard, this shows the top 5 customers. So these 5 customers here are currently the top 5 customers. And if we click on view more, we can view more detail regarding the full list of customers. The full list of customers is represented here. Here we can see the customer's name, the email address, their contact number, where they are situated, what type of customer, i.e. mining or ad hoc, as well as the customer status. In this case, all customers are active. Furthermore, if you'd like to export this list of customers to be used in another separate system, you're able to do that. You can export it as the JSON format. So click on here, export as JSON. You get a JSON list of the customers downloaded. Okay. And that is the functionality.
This is the driver home screen. This is where the driver's trips for the day will be displayed, and it will be displayed in a list over here. This driver currently has one trip to complete today, and that is to Caltech's Bree Street. The driver's name and surname is also displayed in the top right corner next to the logout button. And on the trips card is a help button with functionality. Also displayed is the Reef Tankers logo as well as the name of the application. Once a trip is clicked on over here, it will then take the user to the pre-trip inspection page.
Welcome to Tankman's web application. This is our landing page, which just has some details about the client, as well as the services that they provide to their customers. It also includes the address that they are at and their contact details. You can also visit them at their social media pages using these links here. And we can log into the system using this login button over here in the corner. We are now going to log into the web application. You will need to provide an existing user's email address, their password, as well as select the terminal they are located at. You will then click Login in order to log into the system. We are now going to log into the system as I've filled in the details already. A modal will pop up requesting the user to enter their OTP that was sent to their email address. As you can see, an email is sent to the email address that was entered in, and you can get your OTP from here. We will then enter the OTP and click Submit. You will then be logged into the system as an admin user. In order to log out of the system, you will need to click on these three dots here in the corner, select Log Out, confirm that you would like to log out, and the system will log you out and route you to the landing page. In the case that you have forgotten your password, you can just click Forgot Your Password. A modal will pop up where you will enter your email address. This will be the same as your username. Once you have entered it, you can click Submit. A success modal will appear, and you will check your email address where your new password has been sent. In the case that you have entered in the incorrect email address, an error modal will pop up as well. As you can see on the screen, your new password has been sent to you on the email address you have entered in. If you'd like to request a user account, you can just click on the Request a User Account link, which will then direct you to the Request User Account screen. You have to be an existing employee on the system in order to request a user account. You will need to enter in your name, surname, ID number, phone number, email address, select your employee type, as well as the terminal you are located at. You will then click Request User Account. As you can see, I've filled in the details. We are now going to request the user account. And then a success modal will appear that tells you that your request has been sent through. Your request will then be sent to the admin user, where they will have to log in and either accept or decline your account. As you can see, this is the email that the admin has received, showing that a user account has been requested. With all the details, therefore they can ensure that the details match on the system. If you'd like to view how the admin team would accept or approve this user account, please go to 4.1 Approve User Account. Creating an employee. The purpose of this screen is to create a new employee that has joined the company recently. You will need to fill in their name, surname, ID number, phone number, their email address, select the employee type, as well as the terminal that they are located at. After entering their details, you will then click the Create button. A modal will pop up asking you if you are sure that you want to create the employee. And then a success model will appear that the employee has successfully been created. If you'd like to view an employee's detail, you will first need to search the employee you'd like to view by entering their email address. Once you have inserted the email address, you can click the search button. It will then pop up and you can click on this link. You will then be able to view the employee's details. If you would like to maintain the employee type, you will need to click on the Edit button on the View Employee Type screen. This will redirect you to the Maintain Employee Type screen, where you can either delete the employee type by clicking on the trash icon or maintaining the employee type description. I'm going to maintain the employee type description. You can then click Update. A confirmation modal will pop up. To make sure that you'd like to update the employee type details, you can click Yes. And a success model will inform you that the employee type details has been successfully updated. Create employee type. The purpose of this screen is to create a new employee type that has been added to the company. You will just need to enter the employee type description. I have created a CSM assistant employee type. You will then click on the Create button. A confirmation modal will pop up and asking you if you would like to create the new employee type. Click Yes, and a success modal will inform you that the employee type has been created successfully. If you would like to view an employee type, you will first have to search for the employee type by entering the employee type description. I have entered CSM, and CSM Assistant will pop up. You can then view the employee type. If you would like to maintain the employee type, you will need to click on the Edit button on the View Employee Type screen. This will redirect you to the Maintain Employee Type screen, where you can either delete the employee type by clicking on the trash icon or maintaining the employee type description. I'm going to maintain the employee type description. You can then click Update. A confirmation modal will pop up. To make sure that you'd like to update the employee type details, you can click Yes. And a success modal will inform you that the employee type details has been successfully updated.
Adding in additional driver details. The purpose of the screen is to add a new driver to the company. You will need to fill in the driver's license number, license expiry date, license type, employee ID number, and upload the driver's license. After you have filled in the required information, a confirmation modal will appear asking if you want to create this additional driver details. A success modal will appear stating the driver's details has been successfully created. If you'd like to view a driver's details, you will first need to search the driver's license number you'd like to view by entering the driver's license number. Once you have filled in the driver's license number, click the search button. The result will display and you can click on the driver's license number that you'd like to view. And then it will redirect you to the View Additional Driver Details page. And here you can see the driver's details. If you would like to maintain the driver's details, you will first need to click on the Edit button on the View Additional Driver Details screen. And then it will redirect you to the Maintain Additional Driver Details screen, where you can either click on the trash icon and delete the driver details, or you can update the driver's information. I have updated the license type and the driver's license number, and I can click the Update button. And a confirmation modal will pop up asking if I am sure I want to update the driver's details, which I'll select Yes. A success modal will appear stating that the driver's details has been successfully updated. On the admin home screen, there's going to be a license renewal panel that displays the license that are going to expire in the next.
In order to approve a user account, you need to be logged in as admin. The purpose of approving a user account is to give a requested user access to the system. So we'll first click on the user account that we've requested in 1.4. This will allow you to see the list of user accounts requested. You can then click on the link. You can then verify their details and make sure it is all correct. You can either approve or decline the user account request. A confirmation modal will pop up once you click approve. You can then click yes. And a success modal will appear to ensure you that the user account has been approved. The user who requested the account will then receive an email informing them that their user account has been approved, and it will also give them the username and password so that they can log into the system. That is the end of the process for approving a user account. If you would like to view a user account, you will first have to search for the user you'd like to view. You will need to just enter the username, which is the email address. Once you have entered the email address, you can then click the search button. It will then display their name and surname, and you can click on the link provided. It will then allow you to view the user account details. If you would like to update your user account details, you can simply click on the three dots here. So let's update my account, and all your details will appear. You can then update your details accordingly and send through a request to update your account details. I have changed the phone number as well as the terminal. You can then click the request account update button, which will then send through an email to the admin team with the details that you would like to be changed. As you can see, this is the email that the admin team receives, and they can go and update your details under Maintain Employee. If you would like to reset your password, you can simply click on the Reset Password button on Update User Account screen. It will then redirect you to the Reset Password screen. You will then need to enter your current password. Once it has been validated, you can enter your new password as well as confirm it. Once the two passwords match, the reset button will be enabled and you'll be able to reset your password. As you can see, I've entered in the current password, the new password, and I've confirmed the password. I'm going to click on the Reset Password button, and a success modal will inform me that my password has been successfully reset, and now I can log in with my new password.
Creating a customer. The purpose of the screen is to add a new customer to the company. You will need to fill in the customer name, customer type, customer head office phone number, customer head office email address, and customer head office address. After you have filled in the required information, click the Create button, and a confirmation modal will appear asking if you're sure you want to create the customer. And the success modal will appear stating that the customer has been successfully added. Then it will redirect you to the Create Customer Branch screen, where you would need to fill in the customer branch name, customer branch phone number, customer branch email address, and customer branch address. Another confirmation modal will appear to state that the customer branch has been successfully created, and it will ask you if you want to upload the contract for this branch, which you'll select yes, and it will redirect you to the Upload Contract page. In the Upload Contract screen, you would need to fill in the contract starting date, the contract end date, the customer branch name, and the contract document. After you have filled in all the required information, click the Upload button, and a confirmation modal will appear asking if you're sure you want to upload the contract. A success modal will appear saying the contract has been successfully uploaded. If you like to view a customer's details, you will first need to search the customer you'd like to view by entering the customer name. After you have entered the customer's name, click the search button and the search results will display, and you can click on the search results and it will direct you to the View Customer Details screen, which will display all the customer's details. If you'd like to maintain the customer's detail, you can simply click on the Edit button, and it will simply redirect you to the Maintain Customer's Detail screen, where you can either click on the trash icon, which will allow you to delete the customer, or you can update their details. I've updated the head office contact phone number and the head office email, and then you can click the Update button. I have updated the head office contact phone number and the head office email. Then I can click the Update button, and a confirmation modal will appear asking if I'm sure I want to update this customer's detail, which I'll select Yes. And a success modal will appear saying that this customer's detail has been successfully updated. Creating a customer type. The purpose of the screen is to add a new customer type to the company. You will first need to fill in the customer type description and then click the Create button, and a confirmation modal will appear asking if you want to create this customer type, which you'll select Yes. And a success modal will appear saying that the customer type has been successfully created. If you would like to view the customer type details, you'd first need to search the customer type you'd like to view by entering the customer type description and click the search button. And the search result will appear, which you'll click on, and it will redirect you to the View Customer Type screen, where you can view the customer type description details. If you'd like to maintain the customer type description, you can simply click on the Edit button on the View Customer Type screen, and it will redirect you to the Update Customer Type screen, where you can either click on the trash icon and delete the customer type, or you can update the customer details. Once you have updated the customer details, click the Update button, and a confirmation modal will appear asking if you want to update the customer type details, which you'll select Yes. And once the customer type has been successfully updated, a success modal will appear. After you have filled in these information, click the Upload button, and a confirmation modal will appear asking if you're sure you want to upload this contract, which you'll select Yes. Once the contract has been successfully uploaded, a success modal will appear. If you'd like to view a customer branch contract, you'll first have to go to the Search Customer Branch screen and type in the customer branch name, and click on the search results, and it will redirect you to the View Customer Branch screen, which you'll click on the View Contract button, and it will redirect you to the View Contract screen. And once you're here, you'll have to click on the link next to the contract document to open the contract. When the customer contract is about to expire in the next month, the Tankman system will auto-generate an email to the customer branch informing them that their contract will expire soon. This is the Create Customer Branch screen. After you have filled in the customer branch information, click the Create button, and a confirmation modal will display, and you'll select the Yes button. Another confirmation modal will display to us if you want to upload a contract for this branch, which is optional. This is the Search Customer Branch screen. Once you have filled in the customer branch name, click the Search button. And it will display a list of results, which I'll select Sassel Alloyd. And here you'll get to see the View Customer Branch screen, and it will display all the customer branch information. Once you are by the View Customer Branch screen, click the Edit button. And it will redirect you to the Maintain Customer Branch screen, which you can either edit the customer branch information or delete the customer branch by clicking on the trash icon.
Add vehicle details. On the screen, the FC user will be able to provide the vehicle details of a newly purchased vehicle, where they will enter the vehicle registration, select the date purchased, select the vehicle make, enter the model name, enter the wheel type as well as the number of wheels, enter the vehicle color, select the vehicle status, select the vehicle type as well as license type, and the terminal which the vehicle belongs to, as well as entering the vehicle load capacity. As you can see, I have now provided the details and I can now press the Create button. I'm confirming that I want to create this vehicle. Yes. If you would like to search for a vehicle, you must provide the registration number such as, and then press the search button. Thereafter, you can select a result from the list. I would like to choose the first one, and then this will open me up into the View Vehicle Details, which will provide me all the information about the specific vehicle. If you would like to edit the vehicle details, you would click on the Edit button, which will redirect you to the Maintain Vehicle page. If you click on the trash icon, the vehicle details will be deleted. However, if you wish to change the details, you can simply do so. As you can see, I have changed the vehicle's detail to maintenance and the vehicle color to black. Now I will press the Update button. It will ask me to confirm, and a success message will appear informing me that the vehicle has been successfully updated. On the FC home screen, there is a panel which notifies us which vehicles are due for an upgrade. It provides us with the model name and the registration number.
Add substance details. The purpose of the screen is to add a new substance. Maybe one day in the future, trucks will be using a new substance and we can add it onto the system. You'll need to fill in the substance name, the substance type, which can either be chemical fuel or jet fuel, the current price of the substance per liter, and the date that was added, which is already set for us. I will now be entering the details. As you can see, I've entered in the details and now we'll click Create. A confirmation model will pop up. Yes, I'm sure I'd like to create the substance. And a success model will tell me that the substance has been successfully created. If you would like to view a substance details, you'll first have to search for the substance by entering a few letters of the substance name. I have entered the first 3 letters. I will now click Search, and it will display the 2 substances. We can then click on the link of either one, and we'll be able to view the substance details. If you would like to maintain the substance details, you can click on the Edit button on the View Substance Details page. This will redirect you to the Maintain Substance Details, where you can either update the substance name, substance type, or the substance type. You can even delete the substance by clicking on the trash icon. As you can see, I've updated the substance name and the substance type. You can then click Update. A confirmation modal will ask you, are you sure that you want to edit the substance details? Yes. and a success message will display to let you know that your details have been successfully maintained.
On the Check Market Status screen, we can view the market status by clicking on the link provided, and it will open a new page called Petroleum Sources and provide an overview of information. If the user wishes to edit the market status link provided, we can press the Edit button, which will redirect us to the Maintain Market Status screen, where we can update the market status link. So if we wish to update it to something such as this, we can press Update, and we can confirm. And thereafter, a success message will appear. On this screen, the admin user can provide the terminal details, such as the terminal name, the name of the manager, the phone number, the email address, the physical address of the building, and the terminal status, such as the details provided. Thereafter, we can click the Create button, where we would confirm this creation, and a success modal will appear. On the Search Terminal Details screen, we can provide the name of a terminal in order to search for it, such as plant, and press the Search button, which would give us a list of results, and we can click on the first result, which would open us into the new Terminal Details screen, where we can view the name of the terminal, such as plant, the terminal manager, the phone number, email address, terminal address, and terminal status. On the View Terminal Details screen, we can press the Edit button, which will redirect us to the Update Terminal Details screen, where we can modify any of the information, such as changing the information of the name and the terminal status. We can press the Update button, we can confirm this, and a success mode will appear. On the Create Target screen, we can create a target for a specific vehicle, where we will select the vehicle registration from the list provided, enter the target goal in rands, select the date deadline, and provide a comment. As you can see, the information has been provided, and now we can press the Create button, where we confirm it, and a success message displays that the target details have been successfully captured. If we wish to search for a target, we would enter the vehicle registration number, such as the search button, and we can select the vehicle that has a target. After selecting a vehicle, we are able to view the target, which provides us with the vehicle registration number, target goal of that vehicle, the deadline, and then the comments. On the View Target screen, the user can press the Edit button to edit the target, which would redirect into the Maintain Target page, where we can update the target details, such as increasing the target goal or extending the target deadline, or we can click on the trash icon. But I have changed the target goal and deadline, so I'll press the Update button, confirm it, and a success modal appears. If the user wishes to generate a target report, they would select the start and end date by providing the dates provided from the list, and then enter the vehicle registration number, such as the details that I have now provided, and press the Generate button, where they can view a report that provides the details of the target goals and a graph representing that, and they can save this as a PDF, which allows them to download the report. Once clicked, it can open as a PDF document.
Here we have the Request Trip page, where the user will be allowed to schedule a trip as well as fill in all the necessary information for it, and then make the request. They will be required to enter the date of the trip type, which could be local or long distance, the customer as well as its branch, and then they will be allowed to fill in 3 substances information as well as an ordered volume for each. They will then be required to fill in the start time and end time of the trip, after which they will be able to load available vehicles and available drivers. The drop-down list will then be populated for the vehicles and drivers that are available to schedule during that time of the trip. Lastly, they will be required to enter the trip briefing date as well as the trip debriefing date, and this is when the briefing and debriefing is scheduled to take place. Next, we will fill in the information for these fields. As you can see, all the details for the trip has been entered. We have selected 3 substances of the same type, which indicates that we will have all 3 compartments in the truck carrying the same substance with a volume of 10,000 liters in each compartment. And the customer is Astron Energy, with the branch being Astron Alroad. This is all the required trip information, and then next we will request the trip. It will ask if we are sure we want to request, and we will say yes. And then we have successfully created the trip. This is the reschedule trip screen. The purpose of this screen is to allow the user to reschedule a trip that has been requested. They can only do this if the trip has not yet been approved. As you can see, the following attributes will be displayed that are pre-populated for the user. These include the date of the trip type, the customer branch, the 3 substances that were chosen, as well as the ordered volume, the start time and end time, as well as the vehicle and driver that have been chosen for that specific time. Lastly, there's the trip briefing date as well as the trip debriefing date. The user will only be allowed to edit a few of these attributes, and these include the date, the start time, and the end time. They will then be allowed to choose the vehicle as well as the driver that are available that day. And then lastly, they may change the briefing and debriefing date. Once this has been complete, they will select the reschedule button and it will show success. The trip has been successfully rescheduled. This is the approved trip screen, where the user will be allowed to approve a trip that has been requested. As you can see, the following attributes are displayed: the date of the trip type, the customer as well as its branch, the 3 substances that have been selected, as well as the ordered volume for each, as well as the start time, end time, the selected vehicle, the selected driver, and a create new delivery route as well as a delivery route option. The above attributes will be disabled and the user will only be able to create a new delivery route or select an existing one. In this case, we will select Reef Tankers Alroad. Once that has been selected, we will click the Approve Trip button. And then a success message will display that Trip 21 to Astron Alroad has been approved. This is the Create Delivery Route screen. Here the user will be allowed to create a new delivery route that a driver will be able to use on the mobile app. They will be required to enter the route name as well as the end location. Once they have entered the required information, they will be allowed to click the Create button. And the success message will display that the route has been successfully created. This is the Perform Pre-Trip Briefing page. On this page, the Fleet Controller user will be able to perform the pre-trip briefing with the driver user, where they will ask them a series of questions in order to determine if they are fit to perform the trip. Firstly, we have the pre-check section, where the Fleet Controller will check if the driver has the following items. Next, we have the Fatigue Management section. Next, it is the load verification and trip preparation. And then we have the briefing section. Once all of this is completed, they will be able to submit the perform pre-trip briefing. As you can see, all of the attributes have been filled out, with the driver's fatigue being low, them needing no extra medication, them having glasses and wearing them, having no restrictions on the driver's license, with an FC on duty, as well as the load verification filled out, and the trip preparation detailing when last the driver has been to the customer, as well as the delivery type, and if the driver is familiar with the delivery, as well as any additional constraints or equipment, which the driver will be carrying extra gloves. And then for the briefing section, it determines whether everything has been completed according to standard. The pre-trip vehicle inspection has been done and received. The load seals are in place. The BTO has reviewed his journey plan and planned the trip. He is aware of the rest stops and there are no defects to report, as well as the current level of the side tanks being enough. And then lastly, we have the BTO name as well as the FC name. And now you will click the complete button. It will confirm if you are sure that you want to submit these briefing details. You will click yes, and a success message will be displayed that you have successfully completed the pre-trip briefing. This is the Perform Post-Trip Debriefing page, where the fleet controller user will sit down with the driver user in order to debrief them from the trips that they have made for that day. It has the following section: trip debriefing, and that has the following attributes: all documents completed and signed, water dips taken and documented, kilometer readings recorded correctly, constraints or incidents, is the truck empty, have manual dips been done on the truck, how much product is remaining in liters, any new defects, is the fatigue camera properly functioning, were there any changes to the journey plan, gain or loss amount from the load in liters. And then it has the next section, which is the trip reconciliation, and that has the following attributes: the personnel responsible, the extensive standing time, the shipments reconciled, the loss and gain report, the EPOD submitted, and the EPOD status. Once this has been completely filled out, the user will be able to click on the complete button. It will confirm if they're sure that they want to submit the debriefing for the Astron Alroad trip. You will click yes, and then a success message will display telling you that the trip debriefing has been successfully saved. This is the truck driver schedule page. This page will allow the fleet controller user to select a date and then view the drivers who have completed trips on that date. From that point, they will be able to select a driver and view the trip details. Once a date has been selected, the user can click on the search button and it will display the BTO names who have completed trips on that day. Then you can select one and it will show the delivery schedule for that BTO or driver. It shows the date, activity, as well as location of the trip. This is the View Past Deliveries page. The fleet controller user will be able to select the date that a trip was completed, and they will be presented with a list of drivers or BTOs. From there, they will be able to select a driver, and it will display all the trips that they completed for that day. The fleet controller user may then click on a specific trip and view all the related details relating to that trip. Once you have selected a specific date, you will then click on the search button and be presented with a list of BTOs, as well as the specific details that they had for that day. You will select one and be presented with a list of the past deliveries that were completed on that day. From there, you may click on one of the customers and you will be presented with the trip's details. Once you click on the bill of lading, you will be presented with that document. You may then go back to the application and select the delivery note. You will then be presented with the delivery note for that specific customer. This is how the Fleet Controller user is able to keep track of all the specific details and revisit any completed trips. This is the View Vehicle Details page. It is from here that you will be able to update the vehicle status. The purpose of this is to indicate the current status of the vehicle. Here you may select the active, inactive, in use, or maintenance. In this case, we will select the in use and click on the update button. The program will then confirm with us if we want to update the vehicle status. You will then click on the yes button. You will then be presented with a success message that tells you that the vehicle status has been updated successfully. This is the login screen for our mobile application, which is meant to be used on a tablet. The purpose of this is to validate the login details and provide the user with access to the application. We will be required to enter the username and password. Once a valid username and password has been entered, you will then click on the login button. This will give you access to the application. This is the pre-trip inspection page. The purpose of this page is to allow the driver to check and record the inspection of their truck before they begin their trip. This page has several sections. The first one being the truck tractor inspection, where they will have to check and perform an inspection on the tractor of their truck. It then has a hazards regulations, where they will have to record the regulations that they have on their truck. It then has important seal numbers and expiry dates, in a section where they have to record the seal numbers and enter the expiry dates. It then has a tank trailer inspection, where they will check and record the details. Lastly, they will be asked to record if any problems need the vehicle to be taken out of service, if the meter information is verified, if the empty verification slip was printed, and if they ensure that the vehicle is empty. They will then be asked to write a problem report if necessary. After that, the BTO name and FC or fleet controller name will be entered. Once this has been completed, this app will then check if they have been deemed fit to complete the trip. So they will click on the submit button, and the app will display a success message that the vehicle has been deemed fit for the trip. Once they click the OK button, the mobile application will take them to the Load Vehicle page. This is the Load Vehicles page. The purpose of this is to allow the user to capture and record the substance load details for the specific trip. There is the trip volume per substance section, where they will be required to select the substance name and enter the loaded volume. Next is the trip bill of loading section, where they will be required to upload the bill of loading. Lastly is the short load section, where they will be required to enter the short load amount, the reason for the short load, and who the short load was authorized by. Once this information has been entered, the user will then press the submit button and the application will capture all of the details. It will then display a success message telling the user that the vehicle load details have been successfully saved. Once the user clicks the OK button, they will be taken to the Start Trip page. This is the Start Trip page. The purpose of this page is to capture and log the driver's trip activity. This page will will display the route that the driver is currently headed to, with the destination being displayed here, and point A being their current location. They will be allowed to re-enter any destination, and they will be routed from their current location to the end destination. Once updated, the route will update and direct them to their new destination. If they need any other directions from a different starting point, they may click the Need Other Directions button, where they will be redirected to a page where they will be allowed to enter the start and end destination. Once the details have been entered, they may submit them and the route will update, routing them from the start destination to their end destination. If the driver would like to pause their trip and log a stop that they have, they will click on the Pause Trip button. This is to track and record the driver's trip activity. For the purposes of testing, we have made the pause trip timer 15 seconds. Once the timer has run down, an error message will display and will tell them that they have exceeded the allocated pause trip time, and an email will be sent to the fleet controller. And the email will look as follows. The email states, "Good day. The driver with their name and surname currently on trip 1022 has exceeded their pause trip time." On the pause trip modal, if the driver would like to resume the trip, all they would have to do is press the Resume Trip button. They will then be showed the page with their route again, and they may continue on with their trip. The resumed trip will also be logged in the driver's trip activity log. This is the Arrive at Customer page. The purpose of this page is to capture the offloaded substance information, as well as capture the unloading document and forward it to the customer as well as the fleet controller. This page has the following sections: the dips to capture the dips before and after offloading the substance, the trip unloading document, where the driver will be able to upload the trip unloading document. The trip volume per substance section captures the substance name, delivered volume, as well as the RT number. Once this has all been completed, the driver may then press the Submit button, where all of this will be captured, and an email of the unloading document will be sent to the fleet controller as well as the customer. A success message will then be displayed. The Arrive at Customer information has been saved, and the trip has been ended. The email that was sent to the fleet controller and customer will look as follows. The email will state as follows: "Good day. Please find your delivery note attached from your latest order with Reef Tankers. Thank you for doing business with us and enjoy your day further. Kind regards, Reef Tankers." And when the customer clicks on the link, it will open the delivery note that was captured. For their easy viewing, the delivery note captured may then be downloaded, and the trip will be ended.
This daily fleet utilization ad hoc report does not take any parameters. It bases it off of the current date of your system and works from midnight or 1 past midnight till 1 minute before midnight in the current day to generate a report of the fleet utilization for ad hoc customers. So if we click Generate Report, we will see here that for today, on the 7th of the 11th, 2021, we have 1 chemical tanker as well as 4 jet fuel tankers that are linked to ad hoc customers. Fleet utilization ad hoc report So this does the exact same as the daily fleet utilization, but for the past week from Sunday until the Saturday. We generate the report. You can see for this week we have 1 chemical tanker and 4 jet fuel tankers linked to ad hoc customers. Monthly fleet utilization ad hoc report, which can be in here. It does the exact same as both the daily and the weekly ones. This one goes for the month that you're currently in. We generate this report. We can see that for this month we have 4 chemical tankers and 4 jet fuel tankers linked to ad hoc report, to the ad hoc customer. The fleet utilization mining report. This works the same as the ad hoc reports, just now for mining customers. If we generate, you can see that we've got 1 jet fuel tanker that is linked to a mining customer today. And we see here again we've got 1 jet fuel tanker that is linked to mining customers. Utilization mining report. We can see that overall for the month we've only got 1 jet fuel tanker that is linked to a mining customer. If the fleet allocation report. This fleet allocation report also asks for date range. So I'm going to go at the same date range of 1st of September 2021 till the 31st of December 2021. And generate this report. This shows a little pie chart of the linking between the mining and the ad hoc customers. So here we can see there's 1 mining customer for this period as well as 6 ad hoc customers for this period. And this is broken down into a couple different tables showing the start date, the vehicle registration, and the trip type. So the loss and gains report. So this also asks for a date range as input. I'm going to go with the same date range as the 1st of September 2021 till the 31st of December 2021. Let's generate this report. This report shows a table again with the different file values between loaded, delivered, and variances for each substance, and then a table for easier reading and display with overall values at the end. Projected income and expenditure report. So this one has no input parameters, it just displays an overall projected income and expenditure for the period that the system has been active for. So there's first of all a graph that shows projected income and projected expenditure as well as variances, and you're able to highlight certain aspects by clicking on them above. This would highlight projected expenditure and the variances. This would hide the variances and show you income and expenditures, etc. Then there's a table down below that just makes the above graph easier to read. This shows the dates, projected income and the projected expenditure with the overall projected income as well as the overall projected expenditure. The fleet target report. The fleet target report asks for a date range as well. So I'm going to stick with the same date range from the 1st of September 2021 to the 31st of December 2021. And the vehicle make that I'm going to enter this time, instead of the vehicle registration, is going to be a Volkswagen. And we're going to generate this report. And this report is very similar to the original target report. However, this is just for the overall vehicle make as a whole. And displays the same data. The date that the target was added, what the target was, and what vehicle registration it was linked to. Okay, this next report is referred to as the monthly driver performance report. If I generate this report will generate a overview representative by a pie chart, the monthly driver performance. So on this pie chart, you'd be able to see the number of 5 stars, 4 stars, 3 stars, 2 stars, and 1 stars, as well as an average of your ratings from however many ratings you have received.
Let's take a look at what we have learned about Tankman. The administration is responsible for creating and maintaining the information regarding the employees and the users of the system, as well as the terminal details. Tankman provides the functionality to manage customer details. Additionally, the FC is responsible for overseeing the information regarding the vehicles and substances.
Shift managers can request a trip on the Tankman system, which ensures that the required criteria of the trip is met. Thereafter, the CSM can approve or reschedule a trip. The system allows the fleet controllers to perform the briefings and debriefings of the driver's scheduled trips. Executives can utilize the frequently updated dashboard, which provides data concerning the resource allocation and the areas that are generating the most income. Therefore, it will enable them to make strategic and timely business decisions. Tankman's mobile application, which is installed on a tablet, provides drivers with the functionality to complete their deliveries effectively and efficiently. The driver digitally performs a pre-trip inspection on the vehicle, where the system determines if the vehicle is suitable for the trip. If found suitable, the driver will proceed with the loading process, and the loaded volumes of the substance is logged onto Tankman. Thereafter, the driver will start the trip, which will send out an SMS to the customer, allowing them to track the delivery progress. Once arrived at the customer, the driver is required to capture the delivered volume, upload the delivery notes, and receive an electronic signature from the customer acknowledging their delivery,